Good evening, friends. We are starting with a very interesting topic related to quality of work life. That is your topic related to human resource management. Okay, so first of all, what is quality of work life all about? So first, we need to understand a concept known as work life. Okay, so work life is all about the balance between personal and a professional life. Okay, so the one concept is that. Other is work life. That means the life which you're spending in an organization. So we are spending as per rule. Okay, it's 8 hours. Okay, so you can assume your traveling hours as well. So you have to add that also. So 10 hours approximately in a day you're spending in an organization. So that is your work life. So when I talk about quality, that means how much enthusiastic you are, how much satisfied you are when you're going to your work. So that is a concept known as quality of work life. Many people has defined work life or quality of work life, we call it in a short form as QWL, in a very different format. Okay, so I'll just share a few definitions with you. First of all, it is a focus on an employee as a person rather than just the work done by that specific person as an employee. Okay, and it is gaining lots of importance right now in 21st century. Okay, it basically highlights the methods in which organizations try to treat an employee in a holistic view. Okay, not as an individual. Complete growth of an individual is the main concern in QWL concept. So it is basically a process in which it enables its members at all levels to actively participate in shaping the organizational environment, methods and outcomes. So that what happened is this basic process is aimed towards ensuring the effectiveness of an organization and improved quality of life at work for employees. So this is the specific definition highlighted by the American Society of Training and Development. Then there is the overriding purpose of QWL is to change the climate at work so that the human technological organizational interface leads to a better quality of life. This is the definition given by Luthans. Okay, then you can treat it as a concept. It's an umbrella concept where employees feel they are fully satisfied and they know they are growing, and that's why they contribute more effectively towards organizational objective and improve their productivity. That means ensuring that their productivity is improved. There are three major components of QWL. Okay, the first one is the occupational healthcare. See, there are certain occupations where employees suffer from health issues, and nowadays it's so common, specifically the diabetes, you take it, or you take an example of heart attack. It's so common in a young generation because they are suffering from lots of stress in their professional life. Okay, so this is a main concern nowadays to improve the quality of work life, that employees, whoever is going to an organization, doesn't feel that it's unsafe to continue the work over there. Then another concept is suitable work time. It's very important for an organization to look forward for a suitable work timings. It does not happen that organization has set a time that 9:30 to 5:30 is the working time, and every day the employees are coming or returning back at around 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. It's unfair. Okay, sometime the work needed, then it's treated as overtime, but overtime is also in certain kind of limits. It's not it's not to be like that. Okay, there is an overtime, so you're working for more 10 hours, okay, beyond your working time. So that's not a feasible thing. Then it's appropriate salary. Obviously, everybody, you, me, and everybody who is employed is working for an appropriate salary. The salary that takes care of my livelihood, the salary that cares of my needs which are beyond livelihood. Okay, so that should be, you can say that should be selected, or that should be you can say decided based on the appropriate conversation between employer and employee. It does not happen that employee should feel he or she is exploited, and it does not feel that employer is paying much higher than what other industry is paying for. Okay, so the next is the nature and the scope of quality of work life. So where you will talk about quality of work life, or in which boundaries you should talk about quality of work life. So it basically highlights the relationship of employee and the organizational environment where you're basically spending your work life. Okay, so how about, a satisfied employee coming with an expression that, oh my God, this is my organization, it's just great place to work with, I trust my employer completely, and my team is just awesome and rocking. Okay, this is what we are expecting out of quality of work life: a feedback, a satisfaction, a level of intrinsic motivation coming out of an employee. Okay. Then it also represents a human dimension which you have to consider if in an organization related to job satisfaction as well as at the same time organizational development. Then the main concern right now of quality of work life is why it's being so important, or what is so important, or why this concept is getting popular right now. Okay, so QWL is important because of the following reason. The first one would be enhance stakeholder relations and credibility. Okay, so when I talk about enhanced stakeholder relations, there are stakeholders associated with an organization. So if they are taking care of their employees' work life, so they're ensuring basically that the employee are satisfied. If employees are satisfied, they're good in their productivity, so their customers are more satisfied. If customers are more satisfied, employer have a very good relation with employees and customers, so this increase their brand value, and in return they have a strong relationship with their suppliers as well. And the investors, they feel great about such organization to be associated with them for longer duration. Then we talk about increased productivity. As I told you, if as an employee we are satisfied at workplace, so it's being so great over there, that increases the intrinsic motivation, the motivation that comes from inside. Okay, and that helps to improve the productivity. And if the productivity is increased, overall contribution towards organizational effectiveness, competitive advantage, or you can talk about profit lines, they all are increased altogether. So you have a great bonanza associated with increased productivity. Then you talk about attraction and retention. So work-life strategies have become a means of attracting a new skill. That means new talented people you can attract very, very easily in the market. Okay, so if you have a great place associated with this thing, you can say, organization has a great work life or great work environment, so the people are more attracted to work with such organization, even though they are not paying so much higher in an industry. So this is a plus point. Even in case of retaining an employee, it is again a very positive impact, because quality of work life is maintained. That means you have something beyond monetary things. Okay, it's not only the monetary benefits that employees are always looking out for, so it's beyond that monetary things. So that helps to retain the talented and senior people also in an organization. So that saves the cost of organization as well in recruiting new people and training them, and it also ensures the commitment and loyalty from the employees. Then we talk about reduce absenteeism. Obviously, if I am enthusiastic about my work and I feel like satisfied over there, I would love to come back and do my work even though I have some kind of obstacles back at home. But if my workplace, I'm enjoying that, I'll make sure and ensure that I'm dedicated towards my work and my productivity. Okay, so that it also helps to reduce absenteeism, and it also reduces the stress level to an extent. Then improving the quality of working lives. That means over here the importance is increasing, because nowadays we look forward as an holistic approach towards an employee. So we take care of their family life also. So we are ensuring that our employees make sure that they have proper presence in their personal front as well. So it's not happening that they're just dedicated at workplace. We're ensuring that they're spending some quality time with their family members as well. So giving them a paid leaves, or might be sponsoring their vacations, or might be arranging such kind of event where family is invited. That is the best thing we can do it to improve the quality of work life. Matches people who would not otherwise work with jobs. Like there are people, who get certain kind of responsibility. If they have parents who need a medical attention or something like that, if they have some family members, if they have some kind of a properties, or some kind of issues going on in a family where they need a break from a job, or might be they are very close to retirement, so they feel like taking a VRS, that is voluntary retirement, before that session, or before that specific retirement age starts. So these people are also attracted to stick to an organization, because organization can provide them that kind of experience basically that helps them and motivates them more to work towards organizational goals. Suppose if I'm offering an work from home opportunity, I'm offering for a flexible time hours, that 3 hours you come for a work, and then 3 hours you can do it at your ease. So that would be a great thing, reducing the work hours, reducing the work days, so that the employees can cope up with their personal priorities as well. So that will be the great thing that makes people who are basically going to take a decision that I will quit a job right now, but then with this kind of options they can continue for longer duration. Benefiting families and communities. See, obviously, if a person is motivated in work, you see his or her expression at personal front also. They are very happy. They contribute more quality time and their inputs in their family life as well as in their social life. And nowadays, social life is also very important for an organization to maintain. So that's why we have a new process introduced in induction as a socialization. Okay, so that is also very important for any organization. So in a situation of a conflict between work and a family, one or the other has to suffer. So if the company is coming with such kind of options where they're focusing towards maintaining the quality of work life, they ensures that people are satisfied in both the fronts. So there is not a struggle kind of a situation that. Okay, so it's basically companies have to try for win-win situation as far as the personal or professional life is concerned. Then there is a job involvement. Okay, so companies with QWL have employees with a high degree of job involvement. That has been seen, and that of course, if my workplace is so much encouraging and it's so much quality is maintained, then definitely my attitude toward my work is very positive, and I'm involved dedicatedly in my work and try harder to achieve more than what is set for me. That means I'm going to work more for more than the expectations we are looking forward for. So this kind of a thing achieves a sense of competency. And over there the employees feel like they can match their skills, or they can actually improve and update their skills to cope up the job pressure or job demands. So this is very satisfying, to work for a challenging job and to cope up with that kind of a challenge in a team that always demands us, or that needs more than 100% of our efforts. So that's a great thing. Job satisfaction. Obviously, job involvement is the process that leads to job satisfaction. So if I'm dedicatedly involved in my work, I'm getting the results, I'm getting that kind of appreciation, I'm obviously a satisfied employee. Then it's a company reputation, as I have highlighted in the stakeholder points as well, the same one, that is, if a company is putting lots of efforts in maintaining the quality of work life of their all employees, starting from lower level till higher level, then employees are so much motivated and committed, and they are loyal. So they built a brand in the market for a company. So that term we call it as employer brand. So that is being built. The investors are very much attracted towards such organization. Okay, and the society also look forward for such kind of organizations, products and service in a very good way. So their sales turnover and everything is increased. Strategies now to improve the quality of work life. So there are certain strategies that organization can positively adapt and can improve the experience of work life of an organization. So when I talk about quality of work life, it's basically, as per me, it would be an experience that an employee is actually having it when working for a specific kind of job. Okay, so I talk about providing job security. So if an employee is confident that his job is secure, then they are more relaxed and they try more efforts. And if their efforts are not in place, they don't feel like, that their efforts have just gone wasted, because they know that their job is secure. It is not the situation like hire, fire. Okay, if you're not performing, you're fired. That should not be the case. Then rewards and recognition. Obviously, everybody in this whole world look forward for rewards and recognition. So if there are proper rewards and recognitions, there are proper event placed in a calendar that highlights that, when such things are going to happen at a higher level, when there are loads of people are involved in front of a whole organization, you're being rewarded, your work is being appreciated, you just feel like top of the heaven like that. Okay, so it's a great feeling at all. It's great feeling in itself. And it's also the basic thing that is highlighted even in, if you try to connect this strategies with Maslow theory, you can actually relate it with Maslow theory. We have different types of needs to fulfill. So these are the needs which leads to self-esteem, which leads to actually you rising up in the Maslow pyramid. Okay, so that is also a great thing. So anyways, it's contributing to the increase in intrinsic motivation of an employee. Then you talk about flexible work timing. Wow, that would be a great thing if I have some priority. How about we are getting a vacation of a 1 month like school kids in an organization? I think that would be the great bonus kind of a thing we look forward from an organization. I would love to sacrifice my bonus for that. I'm getting 1 month leave for that. Okay, so that would be a great thing. So see, this is the thing, that means I'm not fully stopping my work for that 1 month, but this is the thing that I'm trying to contribute as and when required. My work is demanding from the place where I am comfortable from. Okay, so that is also a very great thing to look forward from. Okay, next is increase employee participation. So, involving employees in discussion, strategies and feedback is something which help increase the employees' QWL. QWL, that means quality of work life. I'm again highlighting the long form that I'm using a short form for it. So, when you talk about increased employee participation, strategies and feedback is something that always help an employee to cope up with the expectations of seniors, the immediate seniors, of their work role, or whatever the things that are being changed in their work role. So, one side I'm talking about job enrichment and everything, or job enlargement we are looking forward for. So, it's not possible for, every time an organization is going to provide you with a promotion every year. Okay, they have to stop somewhere. So, when they're stopping somewhere, that does not mean they are not giving you something much more than your current role. They obviously try to enlarge your job, they try to give you promotion in a horizontal direction, or they try to enrich your job with such kind of a skill set where you have to be on toe all the time and you're dedicating more towards it. Okay, then open communication. When I talk about open communication, there is a transparency that I'm looking forward for. That means the management, whatever the decision they are taking, that has an impact on an organization strategy, on an overall organization image, stakeholders, share, you can talk about market share values and everything, or any kind of a great step the organization, or even the small step the organization is taking forward for. So they are sharing each and everything with their employees. That means you're involving them, and employees are very much clear that what they are working for, how their organization is growing, how their organization is changing, and they know that they are the part of it, so they can easily correlate with such kind of a process. When there is ease of correlation, that I know where I'm contributing towards or what things have changed and now my contribution is changed, so I'm very much clear in my work role, and I have no ambiguity or confusion in my work priorities, or setting in my work priorities. Then I talk about the career growth plan. That is another thing that we look forward from an employer. Career growth plan is like, when organization is designing a proper career plan for for their employees, and they're discussing it with that, see boss, you're going to grow from this position 1 to position 2 in such duration if you perform, then position 2 to position 3. So we are looking forward for a proper path, how that employee is going to cross and reach certain level after certain year of a time. So, when I am talking about a very popular question in an interview, like, where do you see yourself after 5 years? So, I think now employees, will ask interviewer, sir, first you highlight me where you are going to put me after 5 years. So, this is the change of area. We can say that this is the change that has happened in 21st century. Okay, next is job enrichment. So when I talk about job enrichment, that means you're basically giving your opportunity to an employee where they're actually trying to expand their horizon of skill set and their abilities to work properly in an environment. So when I talk about, the things like learning and training opportunities where they are basically enhancing their existing skill set, you can say a technical skill set, you can ask for their personal skill set, personality development is there, communication is there, even management you can expect to corporate relations from them. So this kind of job enrichment task has been always worked as a bonus point for an employee, to get involved more and committed more, and they can feel satisfied more, and they see themselves properly valued in an organization. Then we talk about self-managed work teams. That means you are actually giving a group or a team a responsibility that, okay boss, you are responsible for this kind of stuff. So now you do it in your own way. That would be a great thing, when my employer is actually trusting me with something. That means I'm an approachable person. So that gives me an edge. An edge, like, where I can actually go and, feel that, I'm committed. And this is what communicated to my employer. And that's why that person is coming with such kind of a role and responsibility towards me. How about, if I am being responsible as a professor for some kind of a batch, so I'm responsible for their overall development, their skill set, improving their skill set, improving their personality. So, coming out of from a class or coming out of from a session, everybody feels something is a value addition has been done. So this is what self-managed work teams we are looking out for. Instead of following that traditional methods, okay, this is your work, do it like this, complete it, then your work is done. So this is what the difference between traditional work and a self-managed work team is all about. Then I look forward for effective leadership. Obviously, when you have a leadership that encourages you to grow, that encourages you to work more than your capabilities, that encourages you to showcase your multitasking skills and your competency, then basically you are very much enthusiastic to work with that kind of a passion. So basically a good leadership guides you properly and creates that kind of a zeal in you that actually get converted into a high level of job involvement and job satisfaction. Then I look forward for administrative or organizational justice. That means there are procedures we have seen, or might be you are going to explore actually in labor laws and something like that, in industrial relations. Okay, there are lots of acts related to grievance procedures are there. There are laws maintaining the proper work environment and everything. So you are very well versed that your organization is actually practicing such kind of laws or acts. Okay, like there are grievance procedure in place, there are proper machineries in case of some kind of issues are coming in. There are unions, how they're being valued. There are recognition of unions are there. Then the collective bargaining is the concept that actually taking place in your organization. So that just give you a feeling that yes, my organization truly work to that kind of principles or laws that has been laid down by the government or constitution. Then there are now the problems in improving the quality of work life. There are lots of challenges that an organization has to face when they are actually dedicatedly putting their efforts to improve the quality of work life, like poor reward and recognition. like I have in a calendar 1 month, or you can say 5 days block for rewards and recognition even as an employer. But when that days comes up, we have certain priority, we are rushing out of the time because we have certain targets to fulfill, we have certain kind of commercial kind of priorities, and that's why we always try to skip it up. So that is not a good thing we are looking forward from an organization. So they should have proper rewards and recognition system in place that is not on a paper. Basically, that should be actual in reality existing. Dead end jobs. I'm sorry. There are dead end jobs. Like there are the jobs that demands lots of efforts, but there is very little scope, to have promotions or to increase your job role. Like if I talk about an accountant, so what will be my future if I'm working as an accountant? I think I'll get retired as an accountant only. Senior accountant, head accountant, still the same. Like that kind of a thing, until and unless I myself take a responsibility and update my professional skill set, or my employer is coming up with such kind of strategies where they are enhancing my technical skill set and actually moving me into a very wider role. Next is managing by intimidation. That means you're not giving any kind of a threat like we give it to our childs or kids. Like, okay, if you don't do this, I'll punish you. Not like that. Okay, so that should not be the case, that if your employees are not performing, or if sometimes they miss out the target, so you're actually telling them that, boss, you have to pay for this. So this should not be the case. Okay, there should not be harsh punishment or threats should be given to an employee so that they can achieve their work productivity. Okay. You cannot force someone to be a productive or a high quality productive like that. Then there is a negative working environment. This is the very common problem, or you can say a challenge that our Indian organization basically faces. That is, the corporate politics are there. The seniors are not liking the way the juniors are, basically improving in their career or achieving some kind of awards or incentives. So this is what negative work environment is all about. That means the people around you, they are so negative about you that they are not cooperating in your work, or might be they are the people who are just looking forward that, okay, how I can mess with his or her work. So this is how they create, like there are colleagues who don't like that you are only getting appreciated, you are the only one who's getting all the awards and recognition. So this is the negative work environment that hinders the quality of work life. Obviously that affects, the surrounding matters a lot. Then no job security. Yes, of course. If I talk about a sales people, if I talk about a marketing people, or if even you talk about HR people, you talk about finance people, you talk about operation people, everybody is working for a target. They have some or the other kind of different definitions of target. So, if there is no job security, then boss, you cannot ask for a commitment, you cannot look forward for loyalty from your employees, and they are always in stress level that, okay, means they are always carrying a baggage of a stress, like, okay, if I don't perform today, my senior is going to just fire me or something like that. That should not be the case. Okay, then negative attitude. There are some people who are very talented, who have lots of skills, but they don't have attitude to actually implement that skill set. So that is known as negative attitude. So if you are hiring such kind of a person, that means your recruitment and selection is pathetic as an employer. But okay, fine, we hired such people because of their talent they are showing to us in an interview process, but then they're not committed towards work because they have such kind of attitude. They don't want to do it. They just don't want to do it. So this is the thing that hampers the quality of work life. So there are challenges. There are the strategies to cope up with these challenges. There's lots of importance that highlights the benefit of QWL. So for an organization employee, QWL matters a lot. Thank you.